Alright, scholars, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to work on creating the shop section of our game, and the first thing we're going to do is start by creating a button. So we're going to head over to choose a sprite, and I'm going to search for button, and here I have my button. Now for my button, I am going to head over to costumes, go over to text, and type shop. Now I can resize this if I want to make the text bigger, but it's really up to you. And if you want to change the font, you can also change it here. But nonetheless, I'll leave it as is. Now, once I have my shop button, what I want to do is when I click this, the background switches to something else, so it looks different, and we're eventually going to also hide the clicker, the basketball here, and then build out a series of upgrades available to our clicker game. So what I need to do is head over to backdrops, and I'm going to add a background for my shop, and I'm just going to choose a simple blue sky, and I'm going to name this shop, and I want to make sure that my first background is named game. So game and shop. And this is very important because we're going to have to reference these backgrounds with code, and it makes it much easier if we name them appropriately. So again, make sure they're named game and shop. Now what I want to do is head over to my button, and I want to add some code. Under events, when the sprite is clicked, I want to go over to looks and then choose switch background to shop. And what's going to happen is when I click it, the background is going to go to the shop background, right? So let's try that. And that's exactly what I wanted, right? So let me head back and switch this to game. And what I also want to do is hide the shop button and also hide the basketball when I head over to the shop. So under the shop button and under events, we're going to choose when the backdrop switches to shop, I am going to hide the shop button. So then I'm going to select hide. And then I also want to make sure that when I go back to my game backdrop, it shows. So I'm going to go over here. When the backdrop switches to game, I want to make sure that the shop button shows. And then I'm going to select show. Great. Similarly, I need to do this for the basketball. So I'm just going to add it in this section over here. Let me clean up my comments. Okay. So I'm going to add it over on this side. So under events, when the backdrop switches to game, and I also want when the backdrop switches to shop. This is for the basketball, right? So when it goes to the shop, I want to hide the basketball because it's going to be filled with buttons. So we're going to do show when the backdrop switches to game and hide when it goes to the shop. So let's try it now. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. But as you can see now, we're kind of like stuck in this area. We can't really go back unless we, show it here, show this, and then go back to the backdrop and switch it back to the original. But what we want to do now is add another button. And the easiest way of doing this is duplicating it and then just modifying this button. Duplicating it, click the show, so I see this button here that I just duplicated, and then but I'm gonna change this to return. And what I mean by return is return to the game. And I'm also going to, let me show it, move this over to the bottom, bring this back. So now when I click on this, I want when it goes back to the, I want to hide it when it goes to the game and show it when it goes to the shop. So when I click here, the background is going to go to game. So when I click return, it goes to the game, and then it's going to hide. Very good. Now when I click shop, you'll see that it goes to the shop, and all I see is the return button, and this is exactly what we want. So let's just quickly review what we did. For the basketball, when the backdrop switches to game, show. When the backdrop switches to shop, we hide it. For the shop button, when this sprite is clicked, we swap to the shop backdrop. We're gonna hide it, and then when we go back to the game, we show it. And then this is the opposite for the return button here. Okay. Thank you so much for your hard work and all you've done today. Please use your creativity to maybe choose a different backdrop or make your own, or possibly do something else with the buttons. But again, great work, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with.